And we're live. We're live today at Rock and Roll, a Herkimer diamond mine in Herkimer County, New York, the only place that Herkimer diamonds can be mined. I'm Sean Adam, your host, and this is WROX Live News. We report the rocks. And we're here at Rock and Roll, where we're finding these Herkimer diamonds. Rock and Roll is a world-class location for Herkimer diamonds, and one of the only locations in the world where you can get these kind of Herkimer diamonds with this clarity. So, we're after them. Okay. That's what we're after. That is what we're looking for. Put these back in the watch pocket. So, we got a lot of stuff to do. Been doing some hard rock mining for the last couple weeks. Busting it out. Taking a break from that. Getting some other things done. Also letting this dry up a little bit. It was pretty wet over here. You can see where it was pretty wet. It's still a little wet. Now it's drying out a little bit. Might be a little easier to handle once it dries out and maybe a little bit erosion process begins. Just with it being a little bit more dry. Took out all these boulders with that sledgehammer there. And a bar. And my hands. From right there. That's about as far as they've gotten so far. Some of them are over here. Some of them are over there. A bunch of them are right here. That's all this ledge right here. All the way across. So that's what I've been doing for about 2 weeks. And for the last couple days, we were digging. Last few days we were digging. And I'm over here looking at this, seeing if I want to get back into it. And I don't think I will today. Just because it looks annoying to me. So I think I will wait. Here's a whole bunch of DRUSE. Pieces on matrix and stuff. Came out of that area. So, Jimmy, pretty cool cluster on there. There's a couple of perchers that were on a door. Some black DRUSE. Some clay DRUSE. Here's a cool looking piece of black DRUSE. That'll be real nice when it's cleaned up. Just a whole bunch of it in here, all kinds of it. I got some pretty cool plans for all this DRUSE. I'm not just saving it for nothing. We're gonna do some cool stuff with it. All right, here we go. We got this. It's pokey on one end. Kind of prize stuff a little bit on the other end. I've been cleaning all this up over here. That's the Bigfoot pocket area over there on the other side of that boulder. So now I gotta clean all this right here out, go all the way across this line and meet up with this line here. So before I do that, before I can get to that, I had to move a bunch of big boulders like this. See them all across there. There were a bunch of them. Well, now they're all down there. So I moved all those over the last 2 days, yesterday and today, because I really want to just get right across that, down to here, straight across. And I'm going to take all that out, open up this whole working face right here. And I'll get all this out of here, all that, all the way down to here, straight through there to the other side is about 15 feet. So I don't know how much earth that is, but I really don't know how much that will weigh, but I'm going to do it one shovel at a time. So it'll probably weigh, I guess it'll weigh about 10 pounds at a time. It'll be fine. I can handle it. But we're going to take all this out up behind that nice tree with the flowers on it and stuff. So that's the plan for that. That's not what we're going to do today. That's pretty boring work. I'm going to do that by myself. But today, we're going to take a few things that we need. We're going to head over to this little area. We're going to head over to this little area. I think I might have to empty the crystal tube. I think the crystal tube it's still full from yesterday. So let's see. This is what I had my sandwich on earlier. I ate a sandwich. Okay, so let's see what we got in the crystal tube from yesterday. This is going to be our add up the stuff. There's still more in there. There's some dirt. Okay. Here's that really cool one that we found yesterday. Okay. So there you go. That's about how much is in the crystal tube when the crystal tube is full. Got a little bit of dirt in there to keep them a little bit protected. kind of leave a little bit of the dirt on some of them. Do some swipes and throw it in the crystal tube with some dirt, and it'll get some more dirt on it. This is that one that was a little bit bluish. I think it has a little bit of some of that coating on it. We'll have to find out what that is a little bit later. We'll set that one aside. Now that I see that we can recognize it pretty easy. It's got like a blue tone to it. Okay, so now we're back to the crystal tube is empty. Now that's how much we got yesterday in smalls. We still got some bigger ones and some medium size that wouldn't fit in the crystal tube. Crystal tube is amazing, but it's only so magical. It's only that magical. Can't fit anything bigger than that in there. Also, it gets smaller towards the bottom. So we're dealing with science constantly. Constantly dealing with science. Okay. I'm gonna leave those there and really just hope that Luna or Ash doesn't knock it down. They probably won't. Okay, one thing that you have to remember when you're out here in the heat, if you come to Herkimer County to do some of this mining, gotta remember to bring some water, because it gets really hot here. Okay, so here we are, back in our beautiful, flowery, private jungle location. Here at Rock and Roll. That's where we're at. We're doing a test dig here. We started finding some stuff, and it just kept coming. So we're hanging out for a little while, and let's see, here's a couple of the larger sizes that we found yesterday. Here's some mediums, I guess. Nice ones. And we did run into this larger size one. It's got some little clustery stuff going on here on the bottom of it. Okay. Those are those. Got kind of a little cluster on a piece of matrix. First things first, we gotta plug in. Gotta plug into the infrastructure of the mine. You know, it took almost half a dozen electrical cords to create the infrastructure of our mine. So here we are at Rock and Roll. Yesterday was a pretty long day for the lives. Hey. Psst. Yesterday was a pretty long day for the lives. Quite a few hours. So, quite a bit got done. Quite a few chapters were made. Lots of bad jokes were told. Listen, guys, I try not to tell the same bad jokes every day. So, tune in for more attempts at good jokes with bad ones tomorrow and the next day. Boy. Boy, oh boy. I'm 1 month into the season and my body feels like I got hit by a train already. That's how it goes, guys. Alright, so there's a tiny one that we pulled just now already. Just a little tiny. First one in the tube. We didn't even start yet. Didn't even start yet. Okay, here's a safety meeting. Make sure you get safe. Put your boots on. They don't have to be steel toe boots today. They can just be regular boots. They can be hiking boots. Whatever boots you got. Put them on your feet. You might need them. You never know. Okay. Today, we are doing a continued search. We are continuing our treasure hunt. At Rock and Roll Mine. Where we have this crystal tube, which exists only on YouTube. Crystal tube. Crystal tube at Rock and Roll Mine. We're doing a thing that we do here.
to do an offering. This came from the land here. We made this at Rock and Roll. The crystals were made here at Rock and Roll. So it's like we put the two together and we meet in the middle. Somewhere in the middle, there's a friction point where the crystals that were made in Rock and Roll and the offerings made at Rock and Roll meet up, and we're able to negotiate some deals. Okay. Crystal tube. I want to have it out of the way. I also want to have it close. A little bit of both. We've got some overburden kicking above here. We just dug for a minute or two. Got some pretty cool little okay, that's pretty much number one. Good feeling about today. It's a nice day. We're just gonna get into some dirt, behind some rocks. We're not gonna bust our ass too much today. Been hard rock mining for 2 weeks. I'm just gonna take it easy, find some crystals, some rocks. Up under here, there's a crystal. I don't know how big it is. Pretty good size. Okay, so we haven't been here very long. We've been here about that long. So far. Seems like Herkimer County's starting to wake up. You know, we got some, look at that little baby little gem just came right off that matrix. And that's why I do this with my fingers all over that. Just in case it's gonna come loose. Herkimer County is waking up, y'all. We got all kinds of banging going around. Stereo. Banging in stereo. It's getting warm out. Some of the bangers are banging. They woke up from their long slumber. They'd come out to bang. Let's get serious about finding some crystals. Let's get a little bit more serious. All this overburden's gonna come down. It's gonna ruin all this lovely digging that I've done down here. Have to come down eventually, right? Okay, well, I'm not seeing anything in a lot of this. We found a couple so far. Couple. But we just started out for the day. And I'm just starting to get going. So who knows what we're gonna find. I had some coffee. I put my boots on. I ate a sandwich. So I think we're on the right track. Little tiny ones. Maybe I'll get warmed up over here and then do what I was talking about doing yesterday. Go get back in the Bigfoot pocket. Maybe we can pull out some more big crystals. That would be amazing, actually.
if I get back in that pocket and I still find more crystals, which happened last time I got back in the Bigfoot pocket, I pulled out another same amount. So I'm wondering if I can do it again. Just like non-stop hits from that. Non-stop hits to the top of the charts with a bullet. Maybe yesterday. This is the area that I kind of fizzled out and got a little frustrated in. I kind of hit it hard and found a couple of bigger crystals. Just got to move a lot of earth. That's the key. We're making kind of a pit in the pit. A little bit over here. Go a little bit deeper. I don't want to spend all the time to go deep with the whole thing. I think I'm just gonna really test on this overburden and see how far I can take it. Because it's not deadly overburden, it's just overburden. So, get some of these bigger rocks out of here. Let's see, any comments? Who's here? Anybody? Anyone here? Hello. Hello. Good morning. How are you? Is it morning time still? I don't know. I really don't. Okay. Here's a real small one. I think we need to get a little bit more warmed up. A little bit more warmed up. Get a little bit more warmed up. Focus on the big ones today, okay? Because this is what's popping and that's not going to cut it. Focus on the big ones. We are, here at Rock and Roll Mine, we are hiring for psychic remote viewers. If you or a loved one were ever involved in any covert CIA, FBI, NSA, remote viewing programs, give us a call. We'd like to talk to you. We're hiring in our newly formed, publicly announced, non-clandestine
remote viewing program here at Rock and Roll Mine, where we want to know more about the rocks. See, where did I just drop that to? That's why we need remote viewers. Where did Sean drop the crystal tube? Okay, there it is. That's a really, really, really gemmy one. I don't know if you can tell in this camera, but that thing is, wow. It's small, but it's crazy. And I dropped it again. That's the second time. See, I usually drop things twice, and that's about then I learn my lesson and I put it in the tube. Twice seems to be the going rate. Okay, that had a nice sound to it. That was a good weight. I'd say that's, yeah, maybe we should start fun games like that at this YouTube channel. What was the sound of that weight dropping into the crystal tube? I would say that that was the sound of 1.5 grams dropping into the crystal tube. 1.5 grams. Maybe 2. It was a little bit deep. A little bit of a deep sound. I'd say probably about 6 grams is the I'll have to figure that out. What is the biggest crystal size that fits into the crystal tube, right, in the top? What is the biggest crystal size? I'm gonna say comfortably 6, but I could shove an 8 in there, but then I wouldn't be able to get anything else in there. So I guess it depends on that, but it is like kind of more of a weight of measurement rather than, am I gonna shove a 6 gram crystal in there? No, probably not, but are we gonna try to figure out the weight by the sound of a 6 gram? Yes. So I'm gonna see, I'll figure that out later. That way we can have some idea. Okay, I don't want to use that. I don't even know why I have that here. That's just against that sound that it makes is just against my religion. You know what's a lot better? A root. For one reason, I'll tell you right now, because it designed itself to be able to get in, through, around, between, and under these rocks. Before you ever met this root, look at that. It could go right there. It's predetermined. It knows. It's not gonna fucking argue with these rocks. These rocks mean nothing to it. It can go any way that it wants in these rocks. It's already pre-shaped for everything that might even happen. Look at that. All it's gonna do is just hold it there. All the rock is gonna do is help it. Right? This is a nature-made tool. You just have to cut it in the shape or the fashion that you want, and cut it not the same, right? A little bit pokey on this end with a knobby thing down here, so you can pull on it and you got a something, you know, like like a derringer. Has like a little bit of a, just a little thing at the end of the handle, because it's about to fucking go crazy in your hand. So you have to have something. So if you're gonna go around and go crazy on stuff, right, you gotta have something to hold on to the base of it. So cut it in that area right there, and then leave a stabby part on this end. Now you can't stab like a cougar. You might stab a turtle if like, okay, get away from me. But you're not really gonna stab anything to death with this. In the eye, maybe. But it's really just gonna, now you gotta watch out that you don't fling the dirt right in your own eye. Right. See, it's got a bendy thing going on. Like, it'll bend right up in those rocks and everything. You know? So you wanna just kinda get the stuff out between those rocks before you start messing them around. Just make sure there's not something like right there. The other thing is it makes it easier to get the rock out. See that? That wouldn't have come out. Now you can just index. Now they're just indexed, right? So you've cataloged them in their area. Now you're just taking them out like library books. That one's a little bit too big. See, if they're too big, it's not going to matter what you do to them, because, you know, that's just how science works. But if it's too big, now the other smaller rock is out of the way, right? And you can also push with the root. The root is made, it's made itself to push in through this material already. It's designed for that by nature, right? So it's going to push through and find the areas. Just really don't fling dirt into your eyes with the roots, because it's really, really easy to do. And they fling a lot of dirt. It's not like a little bit of dirt. Could be a rock. You could fling a rock right at your own self. So there's like a chunky bit. Just really came out. It's like a freaking hole down there. Alright. I hate that thing being in the shot all the time, but I'm sorry about that. Perpetually sorry about that. So this is, you know, just some tailings and shit, so it's not a pocket or anything. I mean, I don't think it is. I mean, it's kind of, well, I don't know what it is. I still don't know. Honestly, I don't know what it is. Sometimes it seems like tailings, sometimes it seems like it's not. That's why I'm trying to figure this out. It's exactly why. See, this looks like, though, that's like a seam, like a normal, but you never know. Who knows? Some people might say that they know. I don't. If it is a pocket, it would be really cool. I know that much. Okay. Here's a crystal that we just pulled out of it. The bangers are banging. this one seems pretty good. Seems like a good one. I don't see any damage. Is that a little... Nope, that's just some stuff stuck to it. This has got some real growth pattern marks on that side from stacking, molecular stacking. Pretty nice one for that. Look at that. It's like a crazy pixel cut gem or something. It's cool when they're naturally like that from growth. All right, well, this definitely just popped out of there with the dirt that was in there. Now let's take a look at that. That's a perfect gem. Doesn't have any inclusion whatsoever. Give me 1 second. I'm cleaning it on the jeans. And we're gonna have a look. I don't think it has any inclusion. Just seems totally legit, you know? It seems like pretty stable. Stacking is nuts. I don't know if you can see that. I got the camera at a weird angle far away from it. Okay. How about now? What about now? Okay, now can you see that stacking? I'll send it up and down. Stacks. Hope you can see that. Sometimes it's just on one face noticeable. This is throughout the whole outside of it at least. I can't look inside of it yet. Well, that face looks really without it, actually. That face I don't think has it. And this larger face that's opposite the one that does have it. Maybe this, nope, that one has it too. Maybe this one doesn't, that one doesn't. So we have one area like right through the middle, like one window through the middle that doesn't have it. That's cool. There is some tiny little carbon inclusion in there. Nothing very noticeable. It doesn't look like it has any inclusions if you're looking far away. I have the camera really zoomed in right now. Okay, so let's look. Yeah, you can really see that stacking pattern. That's really cool.